Today, we're going to be talking about the secret to rebuilding trust in a marriage after it's been violated, after it's been broken. Of course, I'm Arrettres Hollins, infidelity recovery specialist, and I help wives heal. And if you've experienced infidelity, if you've experienced some kind of marital trauma, then of course, you need help rebuilding trust. That's major. Because without rebuilding of trust, there's absolutely no way that you can have a relationship. There's no way that you can have the loving relationship that you definitely deserve. Okay. So there's a couple steps. Number one, and we're going to be on here for about maybe 20 quick minutes. We're going to get this in and get this out. While I'm doing that, if you have any questions about infidelity recovery, about rebuilding trust, about Kingdom Wives Inner Circle, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I'll answer your questions towards the end. Okay, so number one, one of the secrets to rebuilding trust after it's been violated in marriage is, number one, you need to take the pressure off of yourself, especially if you're the person that was violated. If you're the person who did not participate in the violating of or the destruction of trust in your marriage. Unfortunately, sometimes when wives experience infidelity, they jump on and they're trying to fix and they're trying to do all the things. But when it comes to rebuilding trust, it is not your responsibility. You have a role to play in rebuilding trust, and your husband has a role to play in rebuilding trust. When you go out of your lane, you will become frustrated. You will become, you will feel overwhelmed. You will feel like you're on a hamster wheel that's just going and going and going, and you're not getting results. You will begin to feel like this emotional roller coaster just won't stop. So it's important, number one, stay in your lane. So take your pressure off yourself. Make sure during this process, you're only taking care of what you are supposed to take care of, okay? Number two, focus on your healing. That's the main number one thing you need to focus on. That's number one. Restoring the marriage, because you can't restore it if you're still broken. You can't restore it confidently. You can't restore it to the point to where you're actually in love and you're thriving and you're feeling like you're one again and you're feeling all the bells and whistles again. You cannot confidently restore your marriage if you're still bound by the heartache of what was done to you. Okay, so you have to focus on your individual healing. It's very important that you're working with someone who takes you through these steps, someone who doesn't just listen to you, someone that doesn't just listen to your conversation about what's wrong, but they need to be giving you practical steps of what to do. Things to do when you're frustrated, what to do when you're on that emotional roller coaster, what to do when you're triggered. And I'm going to jump down and I'm going to save triggers for a little later because that's part of it. But you need practical answers. Drop a one if you've ever felt during this process that, you just need answers. What do I do next? Drop a one in the chat if that's ever been you. But you need to know, number one, thank you so much for the ones. You want to make sure that you are getting the help you need so that you can heal. Okay. And one of the things that I love and that I specialize in is I give you biblical principles aligned with practical application. We align everything with the word of God. And then what can you actually physically do? My favorite scripture is faith without works is dead. We believe God for divine healing. We believe God to restore marriages. We believe that there's nothing too hard for God. We believe that it doesn't matter what is going on in your marriage. God can redeem, God can restore, and God can heal. But what are we going to do that aligns with the healing that we're striving for, that we desire? Sometimes we're so focused on Lord, do it, Lord, do it, Lord, do it. And God's like, well, you're not even in alignment with what you want. And here's a prime example. If you want peace in your home and you want love and you want romance and you want all the bells and whistles and you want flowers and you want your husband to act like you're the queen of the house. Okay, that's your desire. But when anything goes wrong in the house, you pop all the way off. You go all the way left. You saying all the words that you need not be saying. You're insulting, you're disrespectful, not saying that it's not justified, because sometimes we may feel they deserve for you to go left. Sometimes we'll feel that way, but that is not in alignment with what you are desiring to experience within your marriage. So that's why I say faith without works is dead. You desire, you're praying for these things, but you need to also be in alignment with what you are expecting to manifest, the harvest you're expecting to reap within your marriage. Your alignment must be right. So you have to focus on your healing so that you can get to what you want to experience. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So next, number 3, he must focus on rebuilding the trust. I know in my conversations, I'm normally talking about he, because I work with wives. I work with wives who have been betrayed by infidelity. Okay. So, but he violated the trust. Therefore, he needs to rebuild it. Your job is to align with what you want to experience. A beautiful, wonderful marriage, everything going the way you want it. Well, of course, everything will not always go the way you want it to go. That's his life. Because if that's the case, I would have lobster for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. I'm just saying. And I would eat a pint of Haagen-Dazs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. And I would never, ever gain weight. But things don't always go exactly the way you want. So, but my point is, make sure you're in alignment and that he is focused on rebuilding the trust. So what does that look like on his part? He is making sure his actions align with the words that he is saying. In order to rebuild trust, if he says that the stoplight is yellow, then the stoplight needs to be yellow. If he says that today is Tuesday, it needs to be Tuesday. If he says he's going to Walmart to pick up bread, eggs, and butter, he needs to come home from Walmart with bread, eggs, and butter. Okay. I know that seems really simple, but you want to make sure that that's the only way to build trust. You build trust because a person's actions are aligned with the words that they're saying. So that's his assignment. In your healing, if you don't heal and he does change and does all the things he's supposed to do, you still won't be able to see it because you'll be fueled, or your lens will be clouded by the pain that you've experienced. You will not be able to see the transformation in him because you will be clouded by the pain that you are experiencing. So it's very important that you do your part, because even if he does his part, if you don't do yours, you won't see it anyway. So next, he must completely disengage with all people who assisted him in violating the trust. Meaning, if it was infidelity, absolutely zero engagement with the person who he had the affair with. If his boys were high-fiving him for the affair, if they were partakers in some way and participated in the affair, he needs to disengage with those guys too. If there was some kind of material thing, let's say, she bought him X, Y, and Z, or they went to whatever, or let's say it's funds. If he violated the relationship and spent some money that didn't need to be spent, those items need to go back to wherever they came from and be returned and get that money back, or whatever it is. But he must separate himself from the things that contributed to the violation of trust. Okay. So you want to make sure that you know your role, and your role is only to be healed, restored, and empowered and equipped to be the woman who actually is experiencing life, marriage, love the way she desires. This light is really bothering me. It's like shining back and forth on my face. Oh, that ain't no better. Oh, well, whatever that was. So that ain't no better. But anywho, 4, what you must do while you're rebuilding trust in your marriage, be patient with yourself. Experts say it takes anywhere from a year to 12 months for your marriage to be restored and whole and feeling like, oh my gosh, we're back to where you'll never get back to where you need to be before. You'll never get back to where you were. You won't. because that relationship, those feelings, it's just all gone. But you will become a new, stronger marriage. You will be stronger than you were before. Okay. So be patient with the process and intentional about your healing and getting where you need to be. No rushing it. Take your time. It's all good. Okay. Number 5, identify your triggers and deal with them directly. You must be very intentional about making sure that you are dealing with your triggers, being honest about where you are emotionally and knowing why you're reacting. Drop a 2 if something's ever happened and your response was far left. Your response was just so aggressive. It was just, or maybe it was just me, one thing happened and I just went full left. Thank you for that honest 2 right there. It's you have to make sure that you identify, why did I really react the way that I reacted? What's really going on, especially if he's doing the things that he's supposed to do, especially if his behavior is in alignment. Because remember, it's kind of, your healing is kind of like my glasses. If the infidelity is my glasses in the mud outside in the rain. Of course, when I put them on my face, there's going to be mud. There's going to be gook. I'm not going to be able to see clearly through the glasses because the dirt and the gook and everything is on my glasses. So what do I need to do? I need to heal. What is the healing process? Me cleaning my glasses. Now, of course, I could just wipe them, but then that just smears them. I need water. I need to rinse it. There's a process in getting all of it off. It's an ongoing process where you're constantly identifying what is in the way and blocking me from being able to see what's really here. And then and dealing with your triggers, because it might be a certain cologne. It might be a certain song that comes on. It could be him spending a little too long at Target. He went to go run and get something and 15 minutes, but now it's 30. So you must make sure that you're dealing with the triggers and then properly coming up with either coping mechanisms or addressing the heart of what it is that you're struggling with. Okay, so let's recap very quickly. The secret to rebuilding trust in a marriage after it's been violated is, number 1, take the pressure off yourself. Number 2, you must focus on your healing only. Number 3, he must focus on rebuilding the trust. He rebuilds the trust. 4, be patient with the process and intentionally seeing things for what they are. And 5, identifying your triggers and dealing with them directly. Okay, so that's it for today. In a couple of weeks, if you're on my list, you probably got an invitation to the Reclaim Your Peace virtual summit. If you have not joined us yet, go to connectingloveandmarriage.com/workshop. Okay. You definitely want to register, grab your free tickets. Also, I'll be giving away, for those who refer and invite other people to come in and they register, I'll be giving away a free infidelity recovery kit. Okay. So if you're interested in the infidelity recovery kit, let me know. Now, let's say you have questions. If you can't find the workshop, go ahead and text me at 866-513-3087. But connectingloveandmarriage.com/workshop. Go ahead and register. We'll be doing that August 7th, and I'm super excited about it. Check your email if you're on my list. If you're not on my list, go ahead to that website and register, and you'll start getting the emails from me. Okay. So I don't see any questions in the chat, so I look forward to seeing you at the workshop. And if not, I know some of you, if you're watching this as the replay, go ahead and tag me in your comment, but go ahead and register. Check the description. Okay. Love you. Bye.